Hello, Illuminators. My name is Jennifer Engel from Inspire and Illuminate. Today I'm going to talk to you about the story behind the hair. In many Native American cultures, hair is seen as something that is very powerful. In the movie The Avatar, they kind of alluded to the fact that hair contains memories. In Native American cultures, they would grow their hair very long. They would never cut it unless there was a tragedy that happened. When that tragedy happened, then they would actually cut their hair to kind of show that they were in mourning. As many of you know, some of you may not, I was diagnosed with cancer 2 years ago. And I really remember sitting there on the patio that spring. Actually, it was in the summer. After my first couple rounds of chemotherapy, my friend Carol Sicko, who you saw cut my hair yesterday, cut it about this short just before I knew I was going to lose it. Before, my hair was long and it was blonde and it hung down to my shoulders. So we cut it short knowing that I was going to lose it. And I just remember sitting down on the patio, kind of going like this, and just watching my hair fall out like snow. And it just landed on the patio. And I was okay with it at the time. When I went through cancer, I really kept up a really brave, strong front. You do, I believe, have to approach such a thing with as much positivity as possible, because I've been talking about in all of my blogs how powerful positivity can be. And I feel like that's what you needed in order to heal at the time. A year went by later, and it's kind of interesting. I started learning about flower essences. So basically what those are is you take a flower, you put it in water. Water is also kind of considered like a photo development paper, if you will. And it absorbs the power of the flower, and then you add that to some water and to some alcohol and things like that. But what happens is, with essential oils and with tinctures, those are more medicinal to help heal your body. But flower essences are there to help heal you at a cellular level. And I had made a flower essence from crocuses this spring on Easter Day. And the whole purpose of the essence was to release any grief or anger that you may have hidden within your body. And one of the things that I've done over my lifetime is I have pushed my feelings so far and so deep, and I've covered them up with positivity so much that I don't even realize that I have those anger or grief. I started taking that flower essence, and whoa. About a year after trying to heal from cancer, and by the way, if you are a cancer survivor, it's probably going to take 2 to 3 years to really get your energy back. That's something that they don't really tell you as you're going through everything. So basically, what happened was I found out I was angry. When I started having my hair grow back, I started having people say, why don't you grow it back out long? I want it long. I want it blonde. And I realized I had a lot of anger. And so I told them, no, I'm going to keep it short because this is the new sassy me. If I'm being real and honest, I was keeping it short because I was angry. I was angry that people wanted me to be the same person that I was not before. And yet at the same time, deep down, when you get down to the core of me, I am the same person I've always been. To be easy, the black or the dark hair is actually just easier. In my family, we start off blonde, and then as time goes on, it turns to that dirty dishwater. And so even if I highlight it, the roots come back in dark. So the dark hair is maybe the new me, and it's just easier. My grandmother actually was blonde when she was a young girl, and her hair ended up being very dark as she got older. So that's just a natural change of getting older. I really struggled with my hair, going back and forth. Do I want it short to say this is the new me, the cancer survivor me, the kick-ass me? But to be honest, sometimes I do miss my long hair. Now, I told you yesterday one of the ways that you could simplify your life is by keeping a short or just a simple haircut. But I'm also going to give you another secret. Sometimes in life, you don't always have to keep things simple. For example, I really didn't mind blow drying my hair, curling my hair, because what I was really doing was I was taking care of myself and I was loving myself. So I know many women who would be horrified if they got a short haircut, or they don't want to because it makes them feel more beautiful to have long hair, and they really don't mind taking the time to deal with their hair. And so in that case, I would say don't keep it simple. Keep it as complicated as you like if it makes you feel beautiful and if it makes you love yourself more. So one of the things that I've decided is I do kind of like the short haircut, but I also kind of miss my long hair. So symbolically, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it short in the back, okay? Kind of like a reminder that cancer is behind me. But at the same time, I'm going to start growing it long, kind of in the front, as like I'm choosing to let go of my anger and to move forward. I think it's also another kind of cool symbolic way of watching my hair grow as my business grows. So it's just kind of some simple fun things like that too. All right, so that's the story behind the hair. And now for my simplification that I did today is one of the things that I like to live by is a schedule. And I really do think that forming a schedule actually really does help simplify your life, because then you don't even have to sit back and think, what am I going to do next? I'm bored. So, of course, I've scribbled all over it because I am kind of creative messy in addition to it. So my simplification tip for today is to take your day or your week, this is actually a week plan, and schedule what you want your day to look like. But the other thing you're going to notice me saying again and again many times, there's two things that you'll probably hear me say 1,500 million times. Okay? Number one is that, so there's three things. Number one is to simplify your life as much as possible, but if there is something that adds value to your life that takes time, please keep doing that. Number two, the reality of duality. So two things can actually happen at the exact same time. You can feel happy and you can feel sad all at once. So, for example, yes, I have a schedule. I like to follow it as much as possible. So on one hand, I'm going to tell you to schedule your day, and on the other hand, I'm going to tell you to go with the flow. So try to get as much things done on your schedule as possible, but also inside have a flexibility that if something happens to your schedule, it's not going to destroy you, okay? So simplify your life, and also the reality of duality, that two things can coexist at the exact same time. I would even like to expand that definition, but I haven't thought of a cool mnemonic or a way to say it. It can even go beyond just two things. It can go to three things, four things, five things can happen and exist at the exact same moment. For example, If I'm at a family gathering and I'm in the room with my mother, and I'm in the room with my aunt, and I'm in the room with my sons, I am being a niece, a daughter, a mother, now let's add my husband to that, and a wife, all at the same time in the same room. Do you see how that works? So I can still be the same person, and all these things can happen at the same time. The other thing, the last thing you're going to hear me say a million billion times is balance. So not going too far right or going too far left. So my tip today is develop a schedule for yourself. Stick to it, maybe tweak it once a week, once a month, whatever works for you. And but at the same time, develop some flexibility in case things on the schedule don't go exactly according to plan. Finally, just a review of what I've been writing about for the past week, which is the power of visualization, plus the power of action, plus the power of an attitude of gratitude will help equal success. These are things that I do every day. Before I get out of bed every morning, I visualize what I would like the day to look like. I visualize my to-do list, and I visualize how I want it to go. Next, I get up and I go throughout my day and I try to put into action as many things as possible that will help me check off that list at the end of the day exactly the way I wanted it to go. Third, then at the end of the day, I actually swipe on my phone, got that done. And sometimes something might be on my list for 2 or 3 days, and that's okay. So I go to bed with a grateful attitude of the things that I did get done, and I don't perseverate upon the things that I didn't. And I want to challenge you to do that just for 10 days. Do it for 10 days and see if your life doesn't change dramatically. And I'd like to hear about it either on social media, give me a text message, wherever you want to put that. In addition to my 90-day Simplify Your Life Challenge. Until tomorrow, may you seek inspiration and illuminate what you find to everyone you meet. Peace and bliss.